Hey, everybody, it's Conscious Medium Brandon Ross, and welcome to the February look at tarot. Well, first of all, what cards are connected to February as a whole? Now, you have Aquarius and you turn into Pisces. Well, whether you know this or not, the tarot is actually built up as a giant astrological wheel. And this is an opportunity to take a look at these types of cards that when somebody turns them over, no matter what type of tarot deck they're working with, again, it has to be tarot, that they automatically know that it's an Aquarius card or a Pisces card. Well, I'm going to give you a little tutorial on that as you get ready to watch this month's astrology for February. First and foremost, the month of February, we got shorted a couple of days. What really got shorted was, well, Aquarius. You would think that if we're coming into that term, into the age of Aquarius, if you will, that term would mean like, hey, shouldn't we kind of have a little bit more of a runway here? Nope, we kind of shortened it up. What it actually is an anomaly of the swagger of the Placidus, which allows us to have a little bit of a shorter thing on the 10th and the 5th house. By the way, the opposition of Aquarius is Leo, so pay attention to that as we go along with this. Well, you know, first thing first, it is connected to the dates of the month. Now, when you take a look at when you lay out all of the cards, the air signs are covered by the swords. Well, this is at the end of the deck because Aquarius is at the end of the cycle, right? Pisces tops it off. But as you see, you have Aquarius being represented on February 1st through the 10th with the Nine of Swords. Now, this is also part of the archetype that you find in the Aquarian behavior, in the Aquarian archetype, if you will, where you have an anxiety or a guilt-ridden type of thing. There's also the Ten of Swords, the self-inflicted wound, the overthinker, if you will. It's not just one sword. You didn't need one sword to do it. You did all 10. Calm down, Aquarius. I'm not picking on you directly, but I sort of am. And why stop here? Because then as we move into Pisces, Pisces moves in midday on February 19th. So if you're born in the morning on February 19th, you're the Ten of Swords. If you're born in the afternoon, let's say 1 o'clock, you are on February the 19th. You are a Piscean. Now, each one of these cards actually represent a part of the archetype, as I mentioned with the Aquarian. Now, with the Eight of Cups, it's kind of the Eeyore cup. It's a little bit of, oh no, did I really miss out on this? Or why am I always the lonesome loser? It's being unfulfilled. It's also, you see the representation here of the moon up here in the sky. Let me get back to that here in a second, but let's talk about the Aquarian cards. Let's bring in the Star and the Fool. These are the major arcanas that are attached to Aquarius. Now, the Star card is the Aquarian card. This is the one of hopes and dreams, the ones of being of servitude, the water bearer, right? Here he is with 2 jugs of water. She is with 2 jugs of water. One on land, one in the water, which means you have to replenish yourself, as the Aquarians have been charged with replenishing the earth, the energies of the earth. Now, the Fool card, now at first, before anybody gets carried away with this, before the Aquarians start writing letters, let's take a look at the Fool card. It's connected to Uranus. So the reason this is connected to the Fool card is because Aquarian is connected to the ruling planet of Uranus. The Fool card will come out at a time where it's about the change that needs to happen, the rebellion that needs to come in. The Fool card is actually one of the most powerful cards in the deck. And if you want to get super uber technical, it is right before the start of it all. It is a zero-set sum. It is no longer about who wins or who loses. It's about how you play the game. Classic Aquarian. But let's not stop there. We're also going to take a look at the court cards here for the swords. And by the way, all of these actually represent some Aquarian energy because the swords represent the air. Well, hold on a second. There's 3 air signs. Which one is which one for which? Well, which one is which one for which? Say that 3 times very fast and don't get burned at the stake. My sense of humor is intact, everyone. Let's have fun with this. But these are challenges of the mind. Now, if you take a look at the court cards, the lower two are immature energy. The upper two are slightly mature energy. The ones to the left are feminine energy. The ones to the right are masculine energy. So the Page of Sword is immature feminine energy. I want to care about everybody, but I just don't know how. The Knight of Swords is kind of that chivalrous, dude that comes running in going, I'll save you. And then the Queen of Swords comes in and says, yes, this is how we will do this. And then the King of Swords comes in and says, don't make me get the belt. I want you to think I'm in charge all the time. And then, of course, the Ace of Swords, which is, the aces in the deck are kind of the encompassing of all of it. So depending upon where these cards come out in a spread, recognize that you have the duty to pull apart what is coming out of this. Is it mature? Is it masculine? Is it feminine? Is it nurturing? Is it definitive in action? The Ace of Swords, though, comes out when something needs to be cut away, recarved, reformed, rebranded, rethought about. It's a new idea. It's a new presence. It's a new beginning. Oh, are we having fun yet or what? Well, let's switch over to what we see in the Pisces side of things. Now, before you get any, squirrely about this, yes, there's 3 cards here. Yes, I see them. Yes, it's Pisces, and yes, we have to grab everything. The Moon card is the natural major arcana. That is the primary. However, you'll also see the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman. True to form with the Aquarian energy, the Pisces energy is attached to Neptune, which is the Hanged Man, as well as Jupiter, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the primary in this, and I probably should have done a better job of ordering this, the Hangman is probably the primary of the 2 planet cards, and the secondary being the Wheel of Fortune, because Jupiter has some other roles in the rest of the astrology. By the way, make sure you keep tuning in. But the Moon card, if you take a look at it in this Rider-Waite, the Moon is almost a little disappointed. You also have the representation of the water symbol of the crab, which is also Scorpio. And then you also have the barking at the moon of the wolf, as well as the dog. Well, what do these 3 things represent? They actually bring out the dichotomy of what Pisces are. Do I want to be a water sign? Do I want to go with the flow? Do I want to be assertive? Do I want to be creative? All I know is that it's sitting in between the 2 towers, and the towers are intact. And the moon represents the bringing up, the bringing out of things. Often with Pisces, it's because they just don't quit talking. Guilty. Now, last but not least, let's take a look at the court cards here in the cups. True to form, the lower cards, the Page and the Knight, are immature. The Queen and the King are mature energy. The Queen and the Page are feminine energy, and the King and the Knight are masculine energy. Well, the Page of Cups, there's a little bit of suave going on here with these cup cards, right? Because you have the Page of Cups going, hey, look at this, I'll promise you the world. Bit of a charmer, if you will. But might not necessarily pull it off. The Knight of Cups knows how to be chivalrous as well, but by being smooth, it's a cool side of the pillow. But notice how the horse isn't really doing all that much. Then you take a look at the Queen, the most regal, quite frankly, in all of tarot. And then the King of Cups, which kind of is two-fist in it if you take a good look. The Ace of Cups here allows you to show that everything is overflowing, a sense of abundance, the sense of having everything that you need, having emotion as well as love overflow. Now, keep these in mind as we do these readings, because I want you to keep your eye out as to how this gets implemented into all of the signs. Also, I really like that this is a great education for you as you go along and you begin to learn your own curiosities and start to piece this stuff together. This right here is an incredible part. And I'm here to tell you it is probably going to come up at least 3 other times during these monthly readings. Watch all of them, watch yours. Pay attention to the sun, moon, rising in this. In other words, if we're doing, say, Aries out of the gate, make sure you pay attention if you're a sun, moon, or rising in Aries. You might watch 3 or you might watch a couple. All right, guys, thanks again for being part of my journey. I'm going to give you the heart tap, and I hope you enjoyed this part of understanding the astrology, or the tarot, rather. I don't know, it's all the same, sort of. The astrology of February. Thanks again, guys. Hope you learned something.